Listen to me closely because this might be one of the most important wake-up calls you ever hear. Fear is already controlling you, whether you realize it or not. And if you don't learn how to control it, it's not just going to cost you confidence, it's going to rob you of respect, relationships, opportunities, and the future you dream about. Every second you let fear manipulate you, someone else, less talented, less prepared, but more fearless, is taking the spot that could have been yours. That's the hard truth. And here's why you need to stick with me until the very end. I'm going to show you how to use dark psychology, yes, the same psychological principles that manipulators use, to flip the script and manipulate your own fear so it works for you instead of against you. Most people will never hear this, but if you stay, you'll walk away with a weapon that can make you unstoppable in life. Think about this. How many times have you felt the sting of hesitation, that moment when you knew what you wanted to say, what you wanted to do, but fear put a chokehold on your throat and convinced you to stay quiet, stay safe, stay invisible? Maybe it was talking to someone you're attracted to, speaking up in class, applying for a dream internship, or even standing your ground in a conversation where you deserved respect. Those tiny moments of silence feel small in the moment, but they add up. Each time you let fear win, it's like handing over another piece of your future. Fear doesn't just stop you from embarrassing yourself, it stops you from living. And here's the twisted part. Fear isn't even the enemy. Fear is just energy. The real enemy is letting it manipulate you into submission. That's what most people never realize, and that's why they stay stuck, while others rise. Here's the first dark psychology principle you need to understand. Your brain doesn't know the difference between fear and excitement. Both trigger the same physiological response. Your heart races, your palms sweat, your breathing changes. But society conditioned you to interpret that energy as danger, as something to avoid. That's manipulation. Your own mind is tricking you. The hack is to reframe it. When you feel fear, don't think I'm scared. Think, I'm ready. My body is preparing me for action. The same energy that makes you nervous before speaking up can also make you magnetic, powerful, unforgettable. That's why performers, athletes, leaders all learn to manipulate fear. They don't get rid of it, they ride it. And once you master that reframe, you stop being a prisoner of your emotions and start becoming the one in control. Let me give you a story that will stick in your head. Imagine a soldier in battle. Fear is pumping through his veins, his body screaming at him to run, to hide. If he listens, he dies. But if he uses it, if he channels that adrenaline, that heightened awareness, he moves sharper, faster, stronger. That's survival. Life is no different. Every room you walk into is a battlefield of status, respect, attraction, and opportunity. The ones who learn to manipulate fear are the ones who come out on top. The ones who let fear manipulate them, they fade into the background, invisible, forgotten. And trust me, invisibility is the fastest way to kill your dreams. Now let's talk about why fear feels so heavy. Psychologists call it the spotlight effect. Your brain convinces you that everyone is watching, judging, waiting for you to fail. But here's the secret. Nobody cares as much as you think. Everyone is trapped in their own fears, their own insecurities, and that's the hidden advantage. If you can step up when others shrink back, if you can project confidence when everyone else is doubting themselves, you immediately stand out. Fear, when used right, makes you magnetic. It makes you rare. And in a world where most people crumble under pressure, being rare is power. Here's another truth most people don't want to hear. Fear never goes away. You don't grow out of it. You don't magically wake up confident one day. The people you admire, the bold, the confident, the leaders, they feel fear, just like you. The difference is, they've trained themselves to lean into it. Every time they act in spite of fear, their brain rewires. That's dark psychology in action. Your subconscious learns from repetition. If you avoid fear, your subconscious learns to retreat. If you confront it, your subconscious learns to fight. And once your subconscious learns to fight, confidence becomes automatic. That's how you manipulate fear. It's not about deleting it. It's about conditioning yourself to respond differently when it shows up. But let me hit you with something deeper. Fear often disguises itself as logic. How many times have you told yourself, "Now's not the right time. I'll do it later. I'm not ready yet"? That's fear in a mask. That's your brain dressing up cowardice as caution. And the scary part is, if you don't expose that lie, you'll keep living small while convincing yourself you're being smart. That's why people die with regrets. They never realized fear had been manipulating them their entire lives. And the only way to break free is to start calling fear out. Ask yourself, is this really logical? Or is it fear pretending to protect me? That one question can change your entire life. Here's the harsh reality. You don't have unlimited time. You're not promised another 5 years to figure it out. The world doesn't wait for you to build confidence. Opportunities don't circle back around forever. Every moment you stay in fear, someone else is stepping into what could have been your spot. Fear is expensive. It costs you chances, it costs you love, it costs you experiences you'll never get back. That's why urgency matters. Stop waiting until you're ready. You'll never feel ready. Start moving while scared, because scared action is better than comfortable hesitation. And let's talk about relationships. Fear manipulates you into silence, into not expressing how you really feel, into settling for less than you deserve, into staying in toxic dynamics because you're afraid of being alone. That's how people end up stuck in friendships and relationships that drain them. Confidence isn't about pretending you're fearless. It's about having the courage to walk away, to stand up, to demand better. Fear says, stay quiet, or you'll lose them. Confidence says, if I have to lose myself to keep them, they were never worth keeping. That's how you flip fear into power. So here's your challenge. The next time you feel fear, whether it's speaking up, making a move, or taking a risk, don't fight to calm it down. Don't numb it. Amplify it. Use it as fuel. Let that racing heart remind you that you're alive, that you're stepping into growth. Let that shaky voice remind you that you're doing what most people are too weak to do. Every time you act with fear in your chest, you're building a stronger version of yourself. Every time you let fear manipulate you, you're building a weaker one. And the version you build is the version you live with for the rest of your life. I'll leave you with this. Fear isn't going anywhere, but neither are your dreams. One of them is going to win. The question is, which one do you want it to be? Manipulate your fear, or let it manipulate you. But make no mistake, the choice is urgent, because the longer you wait, the harder it gets, and the world doesn't slow down for anyone. So stop giving fear the driver's seat. Grab the wheel, steer your life, and move forward even if you're shaking. That's how you become unstoppable. Now that you understand fear is not the enemy but a weapon waiting to be mastered, let's get into the practical side of manipulating it. Because talking about concepts is one thing, but I want you to actually walk away knowing what to do the very next time fear shows up and tries to run your life. The first step is awareness. Catch fear in the act. Most people don't even realize when fear is pulling the strings. They think they're being logical, careful, responsible. But remember what I said. Fear loves to disguise itself as logic. So your job is to pause in those moments and ask yourself one brutal question. Am I holding back because it's truly smart? Or am I just scared? That one question slices through the illusion. If it's fear, call it out. The moment you name it, you weaken its power. Because fear thrives in silence. The second step is exposure. Psychologists have proven over and over that the only real way to reduce fear is to face it. Avoidance strengthens it. Exposure weakens it. But here's where dark psychology flips the script. You don't have to dive into the deep end right away. You can manipulate your brain by giving it controlled doses of fear. Let's say you're terrified of speaking up in a group. Don't start with giving a speech in front of 500 people. Start with saying one comment in a group chat. Then ask a question in class. Then share your opinion in a meeting. Each small step rewires your brain. Each time you survive, your subconscious updates its programming. Oh, I didn't die. I can handle this. That's how you manipulate fear into becoming a training tool instead of a prison guard. The third step is reframe. This is where you truly weaponize fear. Every time you feel that wave of nervous energy, stop labeling it as weakness. Call it what it is, activation. Your body is literally turning on its performance mode. Your senses are sharper. Your blood is flowing faster. You are primed for action. Instead of saying, I'm scared, start saying, I'm ready. Those words matter. Language is how the mind gets programmed. If you keep telling yourself you're scared, your brain obeys. If you tell yourself you're ready, your brain obeys. That's dark psychology applied to yourself, becoming the manipulator instead of the manipulated. And the last step is action. This is where most people fail. They do the awareness, they do the reframing, they psych themselves up, but then they don't act. And when you don't act, Fear wins by default. Let me tell you something powerful. Confidence isn't built by thinking, it's built by doing. Every action you take while scared is a deposit into your confidence account. And eventually, those deposits turn into wealth, an unstoppable level of self-belief that nobody can take from you. But if you avoid action, if you keep waiting until you feel ready, your account stays empty, and an empty account is how fear keeps you broke, in courage, in love, in life. So here's my challenge to you right here, right now. Pick one thing you've been avoiding because of fear. Just one. Maybe it's sending that message, applying for that job, making that move, speaking your truth. I don't care how small it feels. Just pick it and do it within the next 24 hours. Don't wait until tomorrow night. Don't give yourself time to overthink. Act while the fire is still burning. That's how you take back control. That's how you tell fear, I own you, not the other way around. And let me leave you with this final reminder. Fear isn't going anywhere. It will show up at every level of your life, but so will opportunity. And every time they meet, you're forced to choose fear or growth, fear or love, fear or power. One choice leads to regret. The other leads to the life you've been dreaming about. Don't wait until it's too late. Manipulate your fear now while you still have time, because if you don't, fear will manipulate you forever. The clock is ticking, and your future is on the line. So move, now.